Good evening. Please remain standing for the presentation of our flag and the Star-Spangled Banner led by Tyler Green, a vocal performance and music business student in the Department of Music.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. I would like to welcome you all to Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. My name is Ann Boyle, and I am the Interim Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. I'm delighted to celebrate this 2014 Spring Commencement with you, during which time we will confer degrees on candidates from the School of Pharmacy, the Graduate School, and the School of Engineering. I'm very pleased to introduce you to some of the members of the platform party. These individuals are with us today to extend their congratulations to our graduates. Other members of the platform party will be introduced during the ceremony as they come to the podium. Each person will rise as their name is called. I ask the audience to please hold your applause until all are standing. Dr. Narbeth Emanuel, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Mr. Ken Neer, Vice Chancellor for Administration. Ms. Rachel Stack, Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. Dr. Regina McBride, Dean of Library and Information Services. Ms. Michelle Welter, President of the SIUE Staff Senate. Dr. Susan Yeager, President of the SIUE Faculty Senate. Mr. Nasir Al-Masri, SIUE Student Government President-elect. Please join me now in acknowledging them with your applause. Seated in the front rows just before me are members of the faculty and staff of the Schools of Pharmacy and Engineering. It is through the and I see some CAS faculty as well, I need to acknowledge that, College of Arts and Science. It is through the dedicated work of these individuals in designing and executing the curricula of the university that our students have been able to achieve their educational goals, culminating in their graduation today. Would all faculty and staff in attendance please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. I'd also like to welcome some guests joining us today from Istanbul Technical University, also known as ITU. SIUE participates in a dual diploma program with ITU, where students spend 2 years on each campus and earn Bachelors of Science in Engineering from both universities. With us today from ITU are Dr. Fethi Çalışır, Dean of the College of Management at ITU, Dr. Alp Unstanda, Associate Dean of the College of Management and Dual Diploma Coordinator, and also as a guest, Mr. Fatih Yildiz, Turkish Consul General in Chicago. Also joining us to celebrate today are many families of the ITU students who traveled far distances to be with us today. Would all of the ITU guests in attendance please stand and be recognized? Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Julie First-Bovee, Southern Illinois University Edwardsville's 8th Chancellor. Dr. First-Bovee is completing her second year leading SIUE and is recognized nationally and internationally for her expertise in quality higher education, having authored several articles as well as a book on the topic. Dr. First-Bovee is a member of the St. Louis Civic Progress, the Executive Committee of the Leadership Council of Southwestern Illinois, Innovate St. Louis, and the boards of directors of the Southern Illinois Collegiate Common Market, Hospital Sisters Health System, SIUE's University Park, and Girl Scouts of Southern Illinois. She has worked tirelessly on behalf of SIUE since she arrived and is committed to guiding the university as we plan for our global future. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming Chancellor Julie First-Bovee.
Good evening, and welcome to SIUE's Spring 2014 Commencement. I'm very pleased to join our faculty, staff, administrators, and guests in officially congratulating the graduates as we celebrate in your honor. Together, you represent a wide variety of backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives, and together, you've made SIUE a strong institution. There is tremendous strength in that diversity, but there is also strength in unity. At the end of today's ceremony, you will be united in alumni status with nearly 95,000 of your fellow Cougars. We're proud to have such an outstanding group of graduates entering a new phase as SIUE alumni. And I would like to congratulate all of you for the effort that brought you to this point. I would also like to extend a heartfelt thanks to the many parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, children, and friends that have supported you over the past few years while you worked so hard to earn your degrees. I'm sure that today they're the proudest of all, and we express our appreciation for the important roles they've played in your journeys. SIUE faculty, staff, and administrators have also played a critical role in your success. And at this time, I would like to take a moment to thank one of them. Dr. Ann Boyle, who has been with SIUE for 19 years, previously as the Dean of the School of Dental Medicine, has served as the interim provost for the past 3 years. I would like to thank Dr. Boyle for her leadership and her service and wish her the best in her new role. And speaking of important roles, I would like to wish all of the mothers and grandmothers in the audience a very happy Mother's Day weekend. Graduates, let's take a special moment to show our appreciation for Mom. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administrators at SIUE, congratulations to our graduates, and I'll leave you with a parting quote from W. Clement Stone, a highly successful business person. Mr. Stone said, "There is little difference in people, but that little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude, and the big difference is whether that attitude is positive or negative." So whether you're a student, a parent, a friend, a community member, whatever your role, your attitude will determine the tone of your life and your achievements. And you will hear that positive attitude reflected in our speakers today. So graduates, set your sights high, work to maintain a healthy focus on what's true and what's positive, and you'll find that success will come to you. We're very proud of your accomplishments, and we look forward to hearing from and about you in the coming years. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you. And now, for the recognition of the Distinguished Service Award. The Distinguished Service Award annually honors an individual's outstanding service to our community. The award was presented earlier today to Mrs. Dixie Engelman. Mrs. Engelman served as the Dean of SIUE's College of Arts and Sciences and is an Associate Professor of Speech Pathology and Audiology. She has been a community advocate and volunteer for more than 35 years. Dixie was the first president and remains a charter member of SIUE's Meridian Society. This society is a group of women who provide leadership through their generosity and pool their resources to assist SIUE community-based projects. The Meridian Society makes annual grants to fund projects that provide direct services to our community. Since 2003, the Society has distributed more than $200,000 in awards for more than 100 community projects. Her support extends beyond our campus. Dixie volunteers on committees and governance groups at her local church. She served as the first female trustee for the Roxana School Board and as the first female board president. During her winters in Florida, she works closely with elementary school children at an area school. Her commitment to the education and advancement of women inspired her to organize a chapter of the PEO. This international nonprofit organization celebrates the advancement of women through scholarships, grants, awards, loans, and stewardship, motivating women to achieve their highest aspirations. Mrs. Engelman, it is an honor to recognize you with our Distinguished Service Award, and it is an honor to have you as our speaker for this ceremony.
Thank you. I don't know whether to wish you well this afternoon or this evening. Is it afternoon or evening? I don't know. But we're all here together. When I retired from SIUE in 2001, I decided to make some changes in my life. The first was to stop wearing a watch. Notice? I'm sure that was directly related to having to attend so many meetings, receptions, and programs. But now that I'm volunteering with first and second graders at South Roxana Elementary School, I need to check the time to move from one spot to another. Since there are no clocks in the halls and the digital clocks in the classrooms are so hard to read for these old eyes, I now need to wear a watch. So that life change has not worked out. My second change was to never wear another suit. I gave away all those suits I felt were my uniform during my administrative days. But styles change, and I may have to go shopping one of these days, something I hate to do. So another plan was flawed. The third vow was something that probably was against the law. It involved my beloved red Beetle. I've always felt the urge to drive around the quad, signifying the end of my career by driving into the sunset. So on my final day at the university, late on a Friday afternoon, I went to the parking lot, eased the Beetle onto the walkway, and began my slow journey past the library, then Dunham Hall, waving to friends and colleagues, answering questions from strangers who wondered what I was doing, and headed out to the hairpin past the UC. And then it occurred to me, I was heading east. So much for that drama. Thankfully, I did not get arrested. My fourth life change involved reading. All through my undergraduate and graduate studies, my reading was confined to professional reading, to obtain information for an exam, or to do research. If I picked up a mystery for a quick read, I felt really guilty. The only extra reading was confined to Dr. Seuss at bedtime with my children and later my grandchildren. You had to be on top of your game so as not to make a mistake with all that rhyming and repetition. If you did make an error, they would immediately let you know. It is truly embarrassing to be corrected by a 3-year-old. But my fourth vow has been successful. I now take the time to indulge in what I call personal reading, something I hope to encourage you to do. Although in my earlier years I gravitated towards mysteries and legal storylines, my reading choices began to expand when I realized the variety of literature which was available to me. I started with a plan to reread the classics. Then I started branching out to bestsellers, first-time authors, and literary reviews and recommendations from people whose opinions I valued. Friends began asking what I was reading currently and which books I would recommend, so I began keeping a list and writing a short synopsis that would be just enough to remind me of the storyline and what I did or did not like about a book. Now, I actually do a yearly program for 2 groups based on my lists. I average about 40 books a year. Some I would not recommend to anybody, while others have been excellent choices. As time has passed, those lists have included biographies and autobiographies. I've read a lot about the lives of several presidents, celebrities, and a Supreme Court justice, but the most interesting was the story about Steve Jobs, which was written by Walter Isaacson. I was curious about the development of the Apple company in as much as I am a Mac user, but I became fascinated with Jobs as a person. He's brilliant with minimal people skills, a perfectionist, ruthless in his dealings with others, and intimidating. Even the dust jacket on that book revealed Jobs' personality. He used that stare to coerce people to do his bidding. I read some of my longtime favorite authors, one of whom was John Grisham, and selected one of his earlier efforts entitled A Painted House. It has nothing to do with the legal system as do his more recent books. Rather, we learn about a dirt-poor family in Arkansas, so destitute that they could not afford to paint the outside of their house. Here, these opening lines would set the tone of the story. The Hill people and the Mexicans arrived on the same day. It was a Wednesday, early in September 1952. The Cardinals were 5 games behind the Dodgers with 3 weeks to go, and the season looked hopeless. The cotton, however, was waist-high to my father, over my head, and he and my grandfather could be heard before supper whispering words that were seldom heard. It could be a good crop. How could any self-respecting reader from the Midwest not be drawn to those words? Gradually, I began selecting authors who were unknown to me. I discovered Laura Hildebrand, who writes historical narratives and spent 7 years researching and writing Seabiscuit, and more recently, Unbroken, which also took 7 years to make it to print. Unbroken is the story of a young lieutenant whose bomber crashed into the Pacific during World War II. We learn about that man, Louis Zamperini, his life as an Olympic athlete, during and after the war, his struggles of surviving on a life raft in the open ocean, and the tortures of a Japanese concentration camp. Hildebrand's writing style is powerful and descriptive. Her books will stay with me emotionally for a very long time. Another new author for me is Emma Donahue, who wrote Room, a storyline involving the kidnapping of a young woman 7 years earlier. During that time, she gave birth to a son who is now 5 years old. The kidnapper has them confined to a single room, 11 feet by 11 feet. The woman realizes she and the boy must escape. She devises a plan in which the boy plays a critical role, and they are successful in that escape. The rest of the book deals with the boy's adjustment to an outside world he never knew. It was fascinating reading. While I do not recall how I found the book The Fencing Master by Arturo Perez Reverte, it became one of my favorite books. The story takes place in Madrid, Spain during 1868, when the country was consumed with politics and the revolution. The art of fencing is dying out, and our hero is surviving through his teaching the skill to the sons of upper-class families. One day, a beautiful young woman comes to his door, asking him to teach his famous fencing move to her. Wonderful writing, and the ending is so surprising and powerful, it will take your breath away. I still like to read mysteries, and I keep up with writers like P.D. James. James Patterson's stories are a good read on the beach when we are in Florida for the winter. But when I need a laugh, I pick up a Janet Ivanovich book featuring Stephanie Plum, a bounty hunter in New Jersey. While the plots are somewhat predictable, the ongoing characters are so entertaining. My favorite is Stephanie's grandmother, a senior citizen denying the ravages of time and always on the lookout for a boyfriend who can drive after dark. She attends every wake in the neighborhood, arriving early so as not to miss out on the cookies furnished by the funeral parlor and a front row seat for better viewing of the deceased. It is laugh-out time for me. In case you might wonder, yes, I do belong to a book club, but it is not your usual book club format. We do not all read the same book every month. Rather, we each read what we want, sharing our choices with the rest of the group after a delicious lunch. And no, I do not have a Kindle, rather preferring to turn real pages. And no, I do not buy books, rather preferring to visit my local public library and exchanging information and opinions with my local librarian. So I hope to encourage you to continue reading in your chosen discipline, keeping current and open to progressive information. But don't forget to make time for personal reading. It can take you to places you never imagined. It could calm your mind after a stressful day. It might suggest new ideas, new ways of living your life, and it can bring you laughter on an otherwise ordinary day. Happy reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Emerita Engelman, for your reminder that the world of books is always waiting and ready to entertain us and teach us. Thank you for your continued service to the university and the community. And I was wondering if you'd loan me the red Volkswagen. She said no. Today, SIUE recognizes one of its many outstanding faculty members. Each year, the university selects a professor to receive the Teaching Excellence Award. This award is considered the highest honor that can be bestowed on an SIUE faculty member. I'm happy to present the 2014 Teaching Excellence Award to Dr. Kelly Gable, Associate Professor of Pharmacy Practice in the School of Pharmacy. In selecting this year's recipient, the Teaching Excellence Committee noted that Dr. Gable is an extraordinary instructor. According to the committee, Dr. Gable displays empathy and competence as a specialized healthcare provider and consistently encourages students to be self-reflective. She uses a variety of teaching strategies and is able to draw from practical experience to add relevance to her material. Her enthusiasm is evident, and her excitement for teaching is contagious to those who observe her. Her colleagues have been impressed with her understanding of how learning occurs, and she is responsive to feedback and receptive to opportunities to improve. One colleague wrote, and I quote, "She is among the most amazing teachers with whom it has been my pleasure to work in my 20-year career," unquote. Dr. Gable is a strong role model for students as she teaches at many different levels, which display the breadth and depth of her knowledge. Dr. Gable's students hold her in the highest regard, and I'm going to quote some comment from her students. It was clear from my first encounter with Dr. Gable that she had a love and passion for psychiatric pharmacy. Her enthusiasm for the subject and her energy during lectures was infectious. Early into pharmacy school, I was certain that I wanted to follow her example and pursue psychiatric pharmacy. Dr. Gable was the single most influential professor I had in pharmacy school, unquote. Dr. Gable, it is my pleasure, my great pleasure, to present this Teaching Excellence Award to you in recognition of your outstanding work as an educator. Please come forward. For each commencement ceremony, one graduate is chosen to speak on behalf of the graduating class. To be selected for this honor, students must not only demonstrate academic success, but they must also exemplify the values of our institution. The graduate chosen for this ceremony is Mr. Jonathan Long. Mr. Long received his Bachelor of Science in Sociology from SIUE in the fall of 2011 with a double minor in Black American Studies and Industrial Organizational Psychology. Tonight, he receives his Master of Arts in Sociology. At SIUE, Jonathan has thrived both in and outside of the classroom. His professors describe him as having, and I quote, intellectual and critical thinking skills beyond most students. With his commitment, energy, outstanding grasp of academic literature, and passion for social sciences, Jonathan is an all-around standout, unquote. Jonathan served as vice chair and chair of the University Center Advisory Board, which provides opinion and guidance in the decision-making process for the operations of the Morris University Center. He was also an active member of his fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, where he mentored fellow members and served as a special advisor to the Midwestern Regional Vice President of the fraternity. He served as a graduate assistant career counselor, as a member of the Graduate Student Advisory Board, and has volunteered his time in voter awareness and at the gardens at SIUE. Mr. Long, it is my pleasure to welcome you as the student speaker representing your graduating class.
Good evening. To the 8th Chancellor of Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, Dr. Julie First Bovey, to the distinguished panel comprised of Vice Chancellors, Deans, and other honored members of the platform, to the faculty in their eruditely prestige as they sit before our graduates, families, and friends, welcome. And to the majority of this august body, my class of spring 2014, congratulations to all who have made it this far. Our 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, in his 2014 State of the Union address spoke these words: opportunity is who we are. The defining project of our generation must be to restore that promise. The best measure of an opportunity is access. Now, yes, our president was speaking of jobs in America, but to someone whose primary or secondary job for the last couple years, much like you that sit before me, was in a classroom, I believe that this notion is very much synonymous to the idea of achieving a college education. To fathom the idea of achieving a college education is no easy feat. The initial step of matriculation seems to be the hardest and yet most critical step to accomplish. Note to self: how can you finish something if you never started? The starting point is so crucial in life's endeavors. This initial checkpoint is that access to opportunity, which our president so eloquently discussed. In 2005, my access to opportunity started with my grandmother Virgie and mother Verchelle Long, who largely funded my beginning years in college while instilling in me the intrinsic values of education and generational progression. Then my access shifted when an academic advisor by the name of Dr. Jesse Harris took a chance and appealed my non-acceptance into this very university. From there, the mentorship and guidance of Dr. Earlene Patterson, Dr. Howard Ramsey, and Dr. Stephen Bradley under the successful and influential Goal-Oriented African American Males Excel program propelled me into an advantageous position to restore that promise of becoming opportunity. Now, I know it's not easy to become opportunity, although it truly is who we are as soon-to-be graduates. Adapting to a new environment can be difficult and unknown, to say the least. There are 7 jewels of advice that I want to bestow upon you this evening. First, embrace the opportunity. When you encounter an opportunity, see possibilities. Think back to when you started your graduate or undergraduate degree. Now think about the spectrum of possibilities because of where you sit today. Second, be confident in yourself. Confidence isn't everything, but if you don't exude a certain level of confidence, you can't expect people to treat you with due respect. Third, it all starts with involvement. Involvement is key. It is the function by which one can serve as well as develop oneself. Involvement is a vehicle to gain information. Sociologist E. Franklin Frazier once professed that education in the past has been too much inspiration and too little information. I believe the two should be balanced in any undertaking. Many of you were involved in campus organizations within or outside your major. Many of you were involved in professional associations, and many of you were just involved in your academics and/or jobs. Regardless of the path chosen, useful information was comprehended and hopefully applied. Now, fourth, building a good reputation links you to success. An important theme in today's society is that success and having a good moral compass go hand in hand. Furthermore, a good reputation and involvement work in a symbiotic type of fashion. In any attempt to seize the opportunity, one can and will run into failure. Don't be afraid of failure, despite its rancorous and deplorable stereotype. The old adage says that if first you don't succeed, try, oh yes, you guessed it, try again. As elementary as it may sound, it could not be closer to the truth. Failure is good, but only if you learn from it and reposition your trajectory. Building a good reputation also highlights and strengthens your character. You wield something powerful, and that is your character. Don't underestimate the power of it. An individual's character can serve them well and serve others as an example or motivation. Speaking of motivation, that leads me to my 5th jewel of advice, which is to find your motivation. My motivation was the example that my father, Arthur Long, a retired career program director, and uncles Leonard Long, who is a chemical engineer, Dr. Kenneth Long, who is a dentist, and Albert Long, a retired pharmacist, and the example that they set when they graduated from SIUE in the 1960s and 70s. Motivation is your internal support system that when all else fails, you can draw from. The 6th point that I want to articulate is, don't quit, be determined. This view plays heavily into the motivation factor because ultimately you determine yourself, not others. I hope you all know that earning a college education isn't solely about getting a degree. It's about learning social, financial, emotional, and academic identity amongst others. Reverting back to adapting to a new environment, I'd like to emphasize my 7th and final point. Realize that every chance you have at something is a foundation of opportunity. It is a foundation of opportunity to be seated here today in this particular time and space. The foundation of that chance was formed from the minute that you made the decision to pursue the educational endeavor that we are here to celebrate. So many various experiences combined gave us a foundation of opportunity. My hometown of East St. Louis, Illinois, gave me opportunity. My affiliations and training with mentoring organizations like the Goal-Oriented African American Males Excel program and SIUE's Student Leadership Development Program gave me opportunity. And as a side note, what I consider to be the greatest fraternity known in humankind, the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, gave me opportunity. '06. Okay. For you, it may have been a wide variation of vacillating experiences that led to this auspicious occasion. Since that is the case, it is our responsibility to utilize this opportunity and all of these opportunities to gain access to the change in the world. No matter the discipline, pharmacy, engineering, English and literature, history, public administration, social work, or sociology, we all have had a foundation of opportunity here at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and it is time to grant it to someone or something else. One way you can do this is as a mentor for a new initiative brought to you by the partnership of the SIUE Alumni Association and the Career Development Center under the Student Alumni Mentoring Program. Or you can join groups like your local Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. However you do it, go out into your prospective environments and reciprocate and transcend that opportunity in the ways that you know and have been molded, while simultaneously pulling from your identities of race, gender, class, age, and sexual orientation. Follow Southern Illinois University Edwardsville's mission statement and shape a changing world, both for you and for others. Thank you.
Well, that is a hard act to follow. Confidence, involvement, motivation, determination, he said it all. So thank you, Mr. Long, for your inspiring message and for your contributions to our university. Next, the candidates for graduation will be presented to Chancellor First Bovee for the conferral of their degrees. In your program, you will see that recipients of baccalaureate degrees who are graduating cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude are noted by 1, 2, and 3 asterisks respectively. They are also wearing cords on their academic regalia indicating their honors. In addition, candidates who are honor scholars are indicated in the program with a capital H. Graduates who will be commissioned as second lieutenants in the U.S. Army and U.S. Air Force are listed in your program as well. I ask that the audience please remain seated during this part of the ceremony so that people can see. Dr. Girish Gupchup, Dean of the School of Pharmacy, will begin by presenting candidates for the conferral of doctoral pharmacy degrees.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Pharmacy degree please rise? Chancellor First Bovee, these candidates, subject to the completion of all requirements established by the university and the School of Pharmacy, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the School of Pharmacy, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer on each of you the doctoral degree earned with all associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Will all graduates receiving the Doctor of Pharmacy please come forward?
Opal Marie Bacon. Matthew J. Bartlett. Jessica N. Berghaus. Shannon Desiree Bramell. Justin Kai-Pao Chen. Dolores Matias Climaco. Clint Randall Coleman, Dana K. Constant, Kelsey Ann Correll, Amanda K. Crane, Casey Wyatt Crum, Valerie Leigh Currier, Virginia Mary Dickinson, Andrew Joseph DiMaggio, Katie Donald, Julie Ann Elbel, Mickey Michelle Evensko, Stephanie Marie Failing, Christopher Lee Flanagan, Elizabeth M. Flores, Rosario Salinas Ford, Brendan Tyler Freitag, Kelsey Daniel Frichtel, Daniel Robert Friedrich, Kelly Francis Hanrahan, Bryce M. Harrison, Jim Way Hawk, Taylor Brooke Howell, Stephanie Huffsedler, Aaron M. Johnson, Kirk Joseph Klein, Mallory K. Klein, Natalie E. Lauer, Oliver Daniel Mafla Mills, Savannah Michelle Mattingly, Erica Ann Miller, Caitlin Mary Mitchell, Wesley Emmett Mole, Samia Abdul Rahman Munshi, Marcus A. Musato, Alana Michelle Narup, Cheyenne C. Newsom, Katie Lynn Nichols, Caitlin Marie Naheiser, Kristen C.J. Naudomsky, Laura Michelle Olson, Mackenzie Sue Orth, Anand Sanjay Patel, Scott Bradley Powers, Christy J. Reese, Lauren Christine Richards, Alexandra Danielle Ruglis, Elizabeth Antoinette Ross, Lindsay S. Schmies, Lori Jane Scow, Kara Lynn Schrand, Christopher Ryan Selby, Nicholas B. Shaughnessy, Tracy Christine Schuell, Bryce Christopher Schultz, Melissa Ann Smith, Raheem David Sultan Shahi, Gabrielle Deanne Span, Kyle Allen Swingler, Gold Chidinma Uche, Jonathan Allen Urbina, Lindsay Ann Vall, Seth A. Wagner, Emily Nicole Wiedner, Maxwell Ian Weiler, Gina L. Westermeyer, Charles Edward Wieland III, Christine Jeanette Wilkie, Daniel Scott Wilhoit, Brittany Nicole Winkleman, Lauren E. Youngberg, Brooke A. Zumaris,
Dr. Susan Morgan, Associate Dean of the Graduate School, will present candidates for the conferral of doctoral and graduate degrees.
Will the candidates receiving the Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering Science please rise? Chancellor First Bovee, these candidates, subject to completion of all requirements established by the university and the graduate school, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their respective degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the Graduate School, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the doctoral degree earned with all associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Will the candidates receiving graduate degrees please rise? Chancellor First Bovee, these candidates, subject to completion of all requirements established by the university and the graduate school, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their respective degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the Graduate School, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the graduate degree earned with all associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Would all graduates receiving doctoral and graduate degrees in the graduate school please now come forward?
Dr. Issam Al-Yasseri, who is receiving a Doctor of Philosophy and Engineering Science, will be hooded by Dr. Zhanping Zhou, Chair of the Department of Civil Engineering in the School of Engineering. Dr. Michael Williamson, who is receiving a Doctor of Philosophy and Engineering Science, will be hooded by Dr. Ryan Fries, Associate Professor in the Department of Civil Engineering in the School of Engineering. Master of Arts, Katrina Le Bogard, Ni-Chung Chang, Cho Yun Che, Lynn Reeve Coate, Clarissa Lynn Weltzen Greguska, Laura Ann Langell, Renee Suzanne Dow Tate, Lisa M. Thompson Gibson, Rachel Ann Trokey, Mark K. Backus, Elizabeth Nicole Busecruz, Jeffrey Allen Holt, Christy Cherise Coaster, Megan St. Clair Pearson, Rachel Marie Schneider, Deidre M. Taylor, Leah Deanne Wallace. Brianna Carmia Whiteside. Miles Allen Cameron. John David Hopkins. Megan Nicole McKinsey. Andrew Dean Naderhauser. Shannon Catherine Schumacher. Jason Emmanuel Chatman. Yesenia Juarez. Maserati Capri Swanagan. Annalie N. Corbett. Danica Marie Fred. Darcy L. Hahn. Megan N. Harbison. Ronald Leslie Johnson II. Hope Marie Cruson. Mary Catherine Ross. Heidi Joel Schillinger. Gregory Allen Williams. Olayemi Jenje. Jamie Christine Mackey. Adriana Ochoa. Adam Philip Kanoski. Master of Music, Mary Elizabeth Dole. Gretchen Ann Gruby. Marie Nicole Meninga. Piri Ebden Webster. Master of Public Administration, Jomo Ono Akpore. Catherine Lynn Birdsall. Sarah Marie Breen. Thomas Collins Brown. Megan M. Coonan. Caitlin Grace Dentamaro. Thomas J. Dougherty. Alan R. Edmondson. Jasmine Simone Johnson. Brian Curtis Jones Patterson Sr. Gefa Kubega. Cheryl Ann Mafla. Rafi Mikaelian. Brittany Lenore Moore. Lyndon Andrea Noel. Shea Okotete. Patrice A. Riodau. Matthew Thomas Roach. Mitoshia Lineage Scott. Daniel L. Shields. Luis Alexander Solano. Eugene Dixon Sowell II. Bendix Matthew Stevenson. Dale Jean Vole. Chesley Ann Waddell. Rafe Dean Williams. Master of Science, Aliza Hassan. Michael Eugene Johns II. Kevin Mark Jones. Paul T. Lay. Kristen Ann Lemonager. Holly Leibarger. Jamae L. Michael. Jennifer Euler. Kelsey Rieger. Season Good. Oh, sorry, Brooke Nicole Season Good. You only wrote this. So. Okay. Sarah Nicole Feldhandlin. Michelle Ann Wolf. Valence Aqua. Wafa Al-Zuhairi. Catherine M. Bennett. Nasim Farahmand. Jack Christopher Harms. Mina Jafari. Benita Maharjan. Inoka Kumari Pathiraja. Bree Leigh Ritchie. Caitlin Ann Womack. Julianne Elizabeth Eplin. Adam J. Page. Julian Barr. Dean Clifford Gunderson. Chelsea McWhorter. Linda Amarabuma Obieke. Jared Paul Rubsum. Gregory J. Soliday. Peter Tureed Bradley. Gary J. Dotson. Thomas Richard Rogers. Stephanie Ann Smetana. Stacy Lynn Banjevich. Darren Harold Roy Olson. Master of Social Work. Sarah Caitlin Downey. Kaylin Foster. Ashley Nicole Franklin. Kristen M. Grinstuff. Laura Ruth Maria Jennings. Holly Marie Kish. Angela K. Marvin. Jacqueline Diane McClure. Krista Michelle McDonald. Jared Allen Payne. Aisha Nicole Pettis. Seth I. Rushmeyer. Dominique Smith. James Stephen Sweeney. Bonita Marie Washington. Jennifer Lynn Wernsman. Professional Science Master. Shi-Wei Chang. Master of Science. Deanne D. Delchev. Damian Anthony DiVittorio. Mohammed Taufik Mustafa. Timothy Joseph Cluthy. Sarita Cherukumili Viswanadham. Qasim Muhammad Al-Azze. Mir Arib Ali Mir Karamet Ali. Ritika Mungimalla. Bala Sampath Mineni. Fanos Neguse. Smitaben C. Patel. Rahul Reddy Sudini. Corey Lynn Whitley. Benjamin Nana Antwi. Jansen Weldon Austin. Michael Ryan Brenner. Salar Ehsani. Yonatan Abera Gebre. Ramu Gogam. Rehan Ali. Chuan Guo. Donald Russell Owens. Henry Benjamin Treader. Jonathan Hamilton Norwood Long.
Next, Dean Hassan Savim will now present candidates for conferral of baccalaureate degrees from the School of Engineering.
Thank you. Will the candidates for baccalaureate degrees from the School of Engineering please rise? Chancellor First Bowie, these candidates, subject to the completion of all requirements established by the university and the School of Engineering, are recommended to you for the formal conferring of their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the School of Engineering, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Southern Illinois University Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree earned with all associated rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Will all graduates receiving degrees in the School of Engineering please come forward?
Orhan Khan Akmansayar. Gizem Altıntaş. Cansu Avcı. Ulaş Afşar. Refik Oğuz Aybars. Müge Tuğçe Barış. Deniz Beşer. Doğaç Dinçer. Duygu Durak. Hüseyin Kaya. Uğurcan Kaya. Burak Can Kocabay. Mehmet Kömürcü. Orkun Krand. Ahmet Kaan Kurtuluş. Kadir Ruhican Özen. Barış Cem Özpolat. Mehmet Ali Şimşek. İsmet Tosunoğlu. Hasan Erhan Yeşil. Hazal Duygu Yıldız. Samet Yılmaz. Jasmine E. Bettis. Colin Nathaniel Abel. Benjamin J. Adkins. Joshua Amman. David A. Baalman. Michael A. Behringer. Bradley David Berhens. Zachary D. Benchley. Benjamin Joseph Bennett. Christopher J. Branch. Derek Allen Breesacker. Terrence Daniel Brown. Stephen Anthony Clark. Denver Deasis Coladia. Benjamin R. Cook. Zachary Randall Dom. Matthew Heap Denton. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Michael J. Disper. Timothy David Doyle. Stephen Michael Driscoll. Logan L. Fisher. Rodney Lamont Freeman Jr. Bentley Mason Gedris. Michael James Geiger, magna cum laude. Timothy Allen Gentry, cum laude. Brian Matthew Graminsky, cum laude. Jonathan Brock Geisen, cum laude. Adam Joseph Heimbucher. Kyle A. Hensel. Morgan Ann Hemker. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Joshua M. Hirschbach. David C. Holland. Glenn G. Howard. Oh, okay. Alex Martin Jetty. Brandy Nicole Jones. Benjamin Thomas Karianis. Brian D. Kirkhofer. Kimberly Eileen Kirkton, cum laude. Adam David Knabel. Joshua D. Cohn. Ryan Christopher Kurwiczki. Lucas Lar. James William LeFew. Brendan Lee Lehman. Jordan Adam Leskoshevich. Matthew James Levens, cum laude. David L. Massey. Logan D. Moggan. Travis J. May. Thomas Daniel McClure. Gregory Jason Miller. Jason J. Mitchell. Jamie D. Monroe. Craig M. Moore, magna cum laude. Alexander Kenneth Mossman. Brian Dale Olson Jr., magna cum laude. Mark Ostrut. Bibek Raj Pandey. Thomas Stephen Parker. Eric Matthew Peel. Jonathan Pieper. Bruce Eugene Polkowski. Tony Matthew Probst, cum laude. Corey Jonathan Ron. Logan Ross Renegarb. Santos Rice. Brian Roper. Drew Stephen Ruhol. Brian James Salagram. Jordan Wayne Sarpy Jr. Christopher Ross Sheedker. Logan Robert Shook. Tanner C. Search. Benjamin Aaron Sheshek. Lindsay Louise Shelton. Hayden J. Sievers. Tyler J. Sievers. Rebecca Ruth Standifer. Eric Matthew Stauffer. James Eric Stilt, cum laude. Daniel Charles Stoughton. Thomas M. Streeman. Aaron Michael Sullivan, cum laude. Corey S. Taylor. Michael C. Vandeveer. Bradley Brian Venhouse. Aaron Charles Watson. Andrew L. Wilder. Todd J. Wilson, cum laude. Orrin Henry Wiseman, cum laude. Timothy Ryan Wittenberg. Aiden Cheng Zhu. Brandon Keith Zurlian.
Will all of the 2014 spring graduates please rise? Now, in recognition of the degree that was just bestowed upon you, you can move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations again. Please be seated.
It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Ms. Bev George, class of 1975 and class of 1979, and past president of the SIUE Alumni Association Board of Directors.
Good evening. Congratulations, graduates. From one cougar to another, I'm honored to be among the first to congratulate you on your graduation. We celebrate your accomplishments as you now become alumni of Southern Illinois University Edwardsville. We're happy to welcome you into the family of more than 95,000 individuals who can proudly claim SIUE as their alma mater. You are joining a list of alumni which includes individuals like Gail Lininger, the founder and CEO of RE/MAX International, Pulitzer Prize winner Paige St. John, CBS White House correspondent Peter Mayer, Dwayne Statz, the broadcast voice of the Tampa Bay Rays, and engineering grad Ed Grady, who is revolutionizing how solar energy is collected. Our alumni include inventors, scientists, entertainers, physicians, dentists, nurses, moms, teachers, dads, corporate CEOs, pharmacists, and community leaders who are literally helping to improve our quality of life and shape the future for generations to come. Now that you've graduated, it's also my privilege to welcome you to the SIUE Alumni Association. There's no fee to join, no application to complete. You're in. It's sort of like my graduation present to you. I know what you're thinking. You'd rather have a card and some cash. But the Alumni Association is better. We have come from different backgrounds and certainly different generations, but because we are both SIUE alumni, we have more in common than we have differences. I'm here today because SIUE has done more for me than I could have ever imagined on my first graduation from SIUE in 1975. Which, by the way, and I see some of you in the audience who might have been there, we celebrated with Otis Redding singing "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay" and drinking some Boone's Farm apple wine. So please get involved. Congratulations again. I'm proud of you guys, and welcome to the SIUE Alumni Association. Good night.
Thank you, Ms. George. On behalf of the university, I wish to thank Tyler Green for his fine musical presentation today. Thank you to Dr. Gunesh Erkal for reading the graduates' names. Thank you to the Army ROTC for the presentation of colors. And finally, for making the commencement program available to those who are deaf or hearing impaired. Thank you to our interpreters, Amanda Pennington and Amy Athy. We will conclude commencement by singing both verses of the SIUE Alma Mater Hail SIUE, led by Tyler Green. The lyrics are printed on the back cover of your program. Following the Alma Mater, I asked that the audience please remain seated until the platform party, the faculty, staff, and graduates have left the seating areas. Now please rise to sing the Alma Mater.
Above the Mississippi plain, your splendor meets the sky. You give to all a chance to gain. You raise our spirits high. Hail, all hail SIUE, our gratitude we owe. Our fount of opportunity, where'er in life we go. To college life we bid adieu and went our separate ways. college friends and mentors too are with us all our days. Hail, all hail SIUE, our alma mater true. Let's fill our glasses joyfully and raise a toast to